Good evening, everyone. Greetings from Chiang Mai. We are here today to celebrate in advance the International Day for Biodiversity. And in December 2022, as part of the Kungming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework, we had a historic, women all over the world had created a historic movement because we had a standalone target on gender as part of the Global Biodiversity Framework. Now the CBD is now first reopened mention with the strong, visible, and set agenda to address gender equality and women's rights, especially as it is now one of the 23 global targets. It also mentions women and girls in target 22 in addition to the post-2020 gender plan of action. However, proper implementation is key for Kungming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework to be truly gender responsive. So this International Day for Biological Diversity, which is on 22nd May, the theme from agreement to action, build back biodiversity, aptly promotes action in support of the Kungming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. In line with this theme and to promote a gender responsive implementation of the GBF, Women for Biodiversity is holding an in-person event because we have all of partners and the various pilot sites who are undertaking women-led or women-included restoration initiatives. This event will highlight stories from Women for Biodiversity restoration site from Asia, Africa, and Latin America. These sites are working to build resilience and lead gender-responsive approaches to biodiversity governance. So, without much further ado, I'm going to introduce the esteemed panel we have with us. So, for first, I think I'm going to go like this, if that's okay. We have Araceli. She is from Costa Rica and she's the director of Cope Molastones. And then we have Valeria, who is from Argentina. She's a lawyer. She's a specialist in environmental law, and she's the director of the Council Foundation. We have Krista, who is from Kenya, and she's part of the organization called FASA. And she is also one of the program officer for FASA, and is one of the key partners in implementation of restoration in Kamatira projects there. And then finally, we have Rose. And Rose is a planning and cooperation regional coordinator of BIPACO. And she's focal point of the entitled Building Resilience and Gender Responsive Approaches to Biodiversity Governance in the Cameroonian coast of the Ocean Division project. So welcome all. Thank you that you have been part of this. And I hope that we are able to have a fruitful discussion out of this. So I'm going to ask my first question to Valerie. Which are the challenges to implement the target reality in Argentina and in the local context?
Bueno, primero que nada, muchas gracias por formar parte de este
evento. Thank you very much for allowing me to take part in this event with beautiful people here. With what is the implementation of Target 23 in Argentina I believe we need to achieve that society and government are involved and develop the connection necessary that need to exist to defend and empower women. We also need to understand that women and youth are the key elements in the resolution of environmental conflict. For this, for the correct implementation of Target 23, I believe some things are fundamental. For example, right to information, research in the different territories, and principally with the participation of women in the decision making in this within this framework. For this, obviously, the governments need to support with public legislation this participation to be real and effective. I have one question. Is everyone listening my translation in English?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay.
Next is the question for Rose. Keeping the Cameroonian context in mind, I would like to ask you, what is the contribution of rural women in the conservation of biodiversity?
Merci, Chirurgie. C'est un réel plaisir pour moi de participer à cet échange. Je pense pour moi que lorsqu'on parle de la Journée internationale de la biodiversité,
Can you hear me now? Yeah? Okay, good. For me, when we talk about the International Day for Biological Diversity, no, it doesn't work. If I speak here, is it better? Can you hear me now? It's better? Is it better like here? When I speak like this, yes? Okay, sorry.
okay, merci.
I was saying, when we talk about the International Day for Biological Diversity, we have to think about the local women. And we have to pay respect to these women who, from generation to generation, work very hard to keep the biodiversity. With their traditional knowledge, they conserve the forest. And I would like to say that before we started talking about this, they were already working on conservation. When women use the forest, they think about the root, they think about the bark, they think about the leaves. They think for themselves, but also for future generations. They have been thinking from the ages of time. Now is the time to prove and to show support to support them, to continue their work. What they do, it's already a lot. We should think about concrete actions. We have to allow them to have access to budget so they can continue to do what they do. I think about the woman from Longi. I think about other women that we support across Cameroon that do a wonderful job of restoration, and we should give the possibility to these women to continue this work.
Thank you. Now my next question what does your organization believe will be the result of Target 23?
con esta meta 2023, las mujeres a nivel mundial podrán posicionarse en la toma de decisiones que serán actoras fundamentales y activas en la toma de decisiones de nuestros territorios, que nosotros vamos a poder decidir conjunto con las instituciones del Estado cuál será la mejor, cuál será la mejor decisión en torno a nuestros territorios. ¿Qué será lo mejor que puede pasar? Pero las mujeres siendo actoras activas de nuestros territorios.
Thank you, Arasuri. Now to Priska, with the kind of work in Kamatira Forest, briefly tell us a little bit about what has happened since the last a year or so, and how have things changed with now the new GDF coming and for you doing the legal review of your NSAs within your country.
And for the last year, we've been able to organize groups, women groups. They invent three nurseries. They have three nurseries. They have three banks. You have almost more than 10,000 trees. And then we have been given an area by the county government in Kungming-Montreal Forest. They have already identified the area where we will be doing the restoration. And we will be doing the restoration in the next few weeks. We also hope that the framework will allow us as indigenous women to participate fully in the implementation and in the implementation of the framework in both local and international levels.
Thank you, Priska.
Desde lo natural, sino también desde lo cultural.
From the natural and cultural aspects, we are promoting that there is participation of women, youth, and other diversity groups in the framework of human rights.
My next question is to Rose again. What, according to you, in Longji, in Cameroon, do you see happening with regard to this phase and with the target 23 that's coming? So you have target 2, which talks about restoring 30% of the entire world's biodiversity by 2030. And how do you see the role of women in the restoration process with Longji's example?
When we speak about restoration of landscapes, it is time to find budgets to let these women restore. They are fighting with very small help. They are already restoring a lot of mangrove. If they have more possibilities, more budget, they will continue to do this work. We should plan some specific budgets for these women.
Absolutely. But gender is and should be something that we should consider when we think about um, restoration initiatives and any kinds of gender responsibility within environmental. I'll say, um, what is expected from the government of Costa Rica regarding incorporating Target 23 in the Costa Rican gender program? Thank you.
En Costa Rica hay un instituto de la mujer, ¿verdad?
In Costa Rica, we have an Institute for Women that has several public policies in the women topics. What's happening is that we hope that I'm unable to translate because the echo doesn't allow me to understand what she's saying. There is an echo that doesn't allow us to understand what is being said.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So thank you, actually, for that. I'm sorry, sometimes in English. However, I'm gonna get sometimes stuff. What you is something that, according to you, with the government, is something that you work on, and it is already happening. That you could give examples of where you could integrate gender responsive approaches to biodiversity governance. Like what are the ways which how has the government been responding to it? How have the government been responding to including you and women into offices and decision-making places?
Climate change, and if you include climate change in work, and whoever is working on the climate change, who is in charge of the forest and the county government. So you also have a lot of help in the county government, and they are allowed to give us the land for marketing and inspiration. And also we are glad that and also we are glad that we had a woman who was elected.
Sorry, just hold on to the phone.
We are also glad as a women, as person working under women from biodiversity, a woman was selected to be county executive secretary for the Ministry of Climate, of Water and Climate, which will be leading me.
Yeah.
And we hope she also inspire other women engage in women-led restoration projects.
Absolutely. Thank you, Priska. I'm just going to take that. Now, one final question for all of you is, what is your hope for all the women in your countries, and how do you think the future is going to look like with what you have with Target 23, we have Target 22, each of Target 22, then we have Target 2, and each of you are working on women-led restoration initiatives within your country. So what do you think the future of women will look like for each of you? So I'm going to start with this. Rose?
There is a lot of hope in Cameroon we have some strategies that include women participation, but concrete actions are missing concerning Target 23. We hope that government are going to change from agreements to action. We wish to see women take part of decisions, to have enough resources to continue the conservation and the restoration of biodiversity. Also have the possibility for women to be independent economically speaking. Thank you.
Rose. What about you, Priska?
Can you repeat the question?
Repeat the question. The question is, what do you think the future for women will look like now that we have gender target in the CBD framework? Hopefully all governments are, and especially in your country, since you are working on women-led initiatives, how can that be reflected into slabs? So what do you think the future for women in India looks like?
I think the future.
What is your hope? Sorry.
The future of Kenyan women is more women will be empowered, more women will have the courage to engage in restoration projects. And also I hope for the future that we have a Kamatira forest that is full of trees. We want a bushy Kamatira forest, not a Kamatira forest where you can play football in the middle of the forest. Yes.
Thank you, Priska. Thank you so much. Valerie, what about you? What do you see like the future for women in Argentina around biodiversity governance? And what is your hope?
Bueno, la verdad que expectativa es
The truth is that the expectation is as much as possible.
Con la defensa de la naturaleza, creo que puede funcionar en la medida de que realmente los gobiernos entiendan que esto es fundamental. Pero creo que las experiencias de los sitios pilotos, las experiencias de restauración, como las experiencias de agroecología que llevan adelante muchas mujeres, se va a ver beneficiadas si realmente estas políticas públicas son participativas y se aplican de manera correcta. Son voluntarias en el plano internacional, tenemos que lograr que realmente puedan ser aplicadas y obligadas como son en la sociedad.
Thank you. And Araceli, what do you think? Could you help translate? Women, what is your hope and what is your what do you think is for future for Costa Rica's women? With we have target 23, we have target 22, and we are hoping that the NDSATs in Costa Rica also will include gender into biodiversity governance.
Yo pienso que estamos viendo en el campo que la organización, ¿no? Las mujeres están
Women are producing a change because they are
decidiendo qué se puede hacer y qué no se puede hacer.
They are making decisions on what can be done, what cannot be done.
Lo que en realidad se necesita
and the government,
en cada una de las comunidades. Cuando las organizaciones puedan entender que las mujeres tenemos que estar
when the governments and authorities can understand that women need to be incorporated in the decision-making process,
las mujeres somos el pilar de
women are the pillar of, fundamental pillar of each.
Entonces, cuando las instituciones puedan entender que en realidad no tienen valor y modelo
Thank you. Thank you, Valeria. Thank you, Priska, and thank you, Rose.
I know we kept it really short and sweet because we have it, we have plans is organized. Sorry, my bad. We have organized this and kept it just under 1 hour. And now we have Foodie, Ashna Puri, who is Ashna Puri. She is the program officer at Spread Bio and is responsible for climate change and ecosystems. I would request Puri to make a closing statement for us.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I think thanks for all I'd like to do. Thank you very much to the Biodiversity, first of all, also to the local partners of the thank you. Thank you for being here. I think this last 4 days have been a very wonderful experience to learn from all of you. Very beautiful people from all outside. Good initiatives, you're learning, and then through this exchange, we have to really learn about what's going on around and how we document your restoration initiative, bringing the initiative from your ground, and then strategize on how to also utilize that. And at a global level, I think this is a really wonderful initiative that's doing this together. And as surviving, you're there to help to be part of this collaboration and great work we've done so far. And we really notice and fully agree with the different messages that have shared that in order for us to and able to form change in this area that we need to be really we have to really recognize the important role and capacity and knowledge that we use protection and that more women should be actually empowered to engage in this process, not just participating on the ground. I think some of you are talking about also the space to effectively and meaningfully participate in decision making. And I also noted on Monday that it's really important to have gender responsive financing. Basically, women can be very limited, and you might not women can do better with more funding allocated to their activities. And I guess, of course, will continue to be ongoing, and thank you very much for the Biodiversity to continue this process together with partners, and last but not least, also, of course, we need to continue to strengthen and reinforce human rights approach in biodiversity conservation. Yeah, it's dialogue, knowledge, and again, just a great thank you to all of you.
very much.
So thank you. That was really inspiring. And, I think one of the things that we had the good opportunity is the fact that because we did a workshop on capacity building training for the pilot sites, we had the best luck to bring all of them here, and it was just truly inspiring to be able to hear all of you and each of you every day about something very like some of the incredible work that you guys have been doing on restoration, some of the learning that we learn every day from each one of you, and we are hoping that it continues. We are hoping that more and more women are inspired by all of you, and more and more women also become allies in our. It's no longer a fight, but it's finally a road to victory, and us celebrating this and join us in this celebration. And with that, I also have Mrinali Rai. She's the director for Women for Biodiversity, and she is going to give some closing remarks as well. Tina, over to you.
Hello, everybody, and I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Our sincere apology that we had a little bit of the glitch because we are also trying to accommodate our partners who are here. So we have French, we have English, we have Swahili, we have different groups here. But today we are celebrating the Pre-International Day for Biological Diversity. And looking at, we had brought our partners here in Chiang Mai, Thailand. So everybody online, thank you so much for taking this opportunity. We are trying to broadcast our best from Chiang Mai. And on this day, I also want to acknowledge each and every one who is here. Participants who are online, you cannot see it, but behind the screen, there are other participants who have been here with us for the last 4 days. And we took this opportunity because, you know, we are always having a challenge with different time zones. And we thought that when everybody was coming here, we needed to have this community networking. We needed to bring the women together from Africa, from Costa Rica, from Solomon Islands, from Argentina, and others, to be able to come here and share their stories with each other, build the sisterhood, build a network, and share. And one of the reflections that we've done are these aspirations, the visions towards what is the gender responsive work around conservation and restoration has been that no matter wherever you are in parts of the world, the challenges are the same. And looking at how we really wanted to take it forward, our actions, and actions are grounded in the lived experiences of women. And these are the women working on the ground. So I'm really happy that for Women for Biodiversity, despite the COVID, we were able to bring our partners first time. And we are, there has been a bit challenges, technical challenges. So I'm also taking the opportunity to thank all the participants online. And I really hope that despite all that, you at least got a glimpse of all these amazing work these women are doing. And I think Puri from Super also talked about, we're talking about human rights. We always say that women's rights are human rights. But what does it really mean on the ground is where our next challenge is how do we really transform these amazing global aspirations into the lives and experiences at the national, at the local level. So with that, I take this opportunity to thank each one of you here. It's been a very hot weather, being here and still being with us and with the energy, and also with all the participants online. I would also say thank you really very much for joining us today. Happy International Day for Biological Diversity. Agreement to action should ensure that those are actually taking into consideration all these good practices that all of us need to recognize and ensure that their aspirations as visions, we help realize them in the coming years. So thank you very much. Shruti, now over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tina, for that very inspiring closing remarks. I'm sorry, this is the first time we are trying to also organize an in-person hybrid event. And we thought this is a good opportunity because we have all our partners in person. There were, of course, some technical glitches, and we are learning from that, and we hope that it will get better over time. And we are hoping that we get to meet more often also and give you that opportunity. With that, I'm so sorry if there was a lot of issues, technical issues, and others. And I would like to thank the interpreters who have very, very graciously and patiently translated so much for us. I would like to also thank the Women for Biodiversity team who work endlessly in the background to ensure and constantly firefight some of these glitches and still working on it right now. I'm sorry we have to cut this short right now, but all the best and have a good evening, good day, and happy International Day for Biodiversity in the next 3 days. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.